In the battle for first place atop the Horizon League version 2.0 between the Valparaiso Crusader men's basketball team and the Cleveland State Vikings, the host held their home floor again in the Vikings' 76-65 win last Thursday, fueled by Norris Cole's 25 points and Jerry Montgomery's game-high 26, while Corey Johnson and Brandon Wood couldn't find their stroke, scoring just 12 combined points. With Cleveland State losing on Saturday to Butler, the Crusaders had an opportunity to pull to within a half game of first place with a win at Youngstown State. However, that was no easy task, as the Penguins were brimming with confidence after their come-from-behind victory over Butler the previous Thursday. Midway through the second half at the Beagley Center at Youngstown State, the Penguins scored on 10 straight possessions, thanks in part to Deshaun Brooks, whose fast break layup gave YSU a double-digit lead with just over 9 minutes to go. 2 minutes later, Crusaders still down 6. Corey Johnson set up Ryan Brokaw for a deep three to cut the deficit in half. Then Brandon Wood tied the game up after one of his 4 steals, in which he converted into a layup. Youngstown State was on a 7-minute scoring drought when Kendrick Perry took the ball with 6 seconds left.
Inbounds to Perry. Perry going to run up the floor. Perry at midcourt. Perry top of lane. Stop, 17-footer! It's good! It's good! It's good! Game time! We go to overtime!
The call courtesy of WKBN. In overtime, the Penguins had a chance to take the lead until Brandon Wood stepped up once again with a steal and lob pass to Eric Buggs to give Valpo the 4-point lead with 35 seconds left. Brandon Wood hit his next 4 free throws on his way to a game-high 31 points. The OT victory puts Valpo in first place Cleveland State tied in the loss column, but the Vikings have the half-game edge with 10 wins to VU's 9. The Crusaders return home to the Arc this week to host Detroit on Thursday and Wright State on Saturday. The women have struggled this season, but on Thursday night, they earned their first home win in 10 tries this year with a 73-64 win over Wright State, thanks to great three-point defense. On Saturday, Valpo had a chance to win back-to-back games for the first time since November of last season, if they could knock off the Detroit Titans at home. Yar Shayok capped an 11-0 run from the lane early in the first half to give the Titans a 7-point lead, the biggest it would be all game before the Crusader defense really started clicking. Trailing by 5 with just over 13 minutes to go, Betsy Adams began a 16-0 run over 7.5 minutes with a 3-ball. Gina Lang dominated the lane during the run. On a fast break, Lang lays it in for the first of 6 straight points. After trailing by as much as 11, Detroit pulled to within 3 inside 2 minutes, but Skylar Gick and Tabitha Gerardo hooked up as the shot clock was winding down to make it a 2-possession game. Valpo would hit their free throws down the stretch to finish off the 57-46 victory as they held Detroit to just 15% shooting in the second half while their bench scored 29 points. In the pool, the swimming and diving teams both had excellent weekends. The men defeated Monmouth easily but fell to host Western Illinois, while the women swept their dual meet this weekend, also at Western Illinois, winning all but 3 events. Finally, the women's tennis team began their season with a loss on Saturday, 7-0 at Ball State, while the men will have to wait to begin their year after IUPUI canceled their meet Saturday due to the weather. That's all from the Shield Sports Desk. I'm Keaton Galogly.
Thanks, Keaton. Luckily, the snow has stopped falling, but will the cold temperatures be here to stay?
I don't know. Let's check in with meteorologist Alyssa Pollack for the weather.
Well, we barely made it into the double digits today, and that's due to this big pool of Arctic air that has made its way into our region. And unfortunately, we'll still be battling this extreme cold tonight. 7 below and winds out of the west at 5 miles per hour, making it feel even colder. We'll see the sun out tomorrow, but that bitterly cold air stays in place as we've only got a high temperature of 13 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. I do have some good news though. A warm-up is on the way as we near the weekend. If you're headed out to the men's basketball game tomorrow night though, make sure you bundle up as we have a low of only 8 degrees. We start to see that relief come on Friday with a temperature of 25. We'll spend the weekend in the 30s and see some sunshine. Monday, we have a high temperature of 32 under mostly cloudy skies. For The Shield, I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pollack.
Thanks, Alyssa. And in more Valpo news, students hosted their siblings on campus this weekend for the university's annual Sibs and Kids Weekend. The theme this year was Valpo, a world of pure imagination. for 2 days of activities on and off campus. Events included a movie night, ice skating at Deep River Water Park, a tour of the Albanese Candy Factory, a candy carnival, and late night bingo. The cost of the weekend was $30, which included admission to the events and a free t-shirt.
The university had its first snow day in a few years last week, and thankfully there won't be an extra day of classes at the end of the semester, and that's due to all the snow this past winter. Northwest Indiana school districts have taken between 3 and 5 snow days, while most school districts must extend their calendar by 1 or 2 days at the end of the year. Some districts, such as Duneland and East Porter County, have built-in snow days, so their schedules have not been affected yet. But depending on the weather the rest of the winter, they may have to extend their calendar as well. That's all from this week's Shield. Come back next week for the latest Valpo news. I'm Brendan Kinney.
And I'm Molly Smirka. Have a great night, Valpo.
Yeah. Thank you. We have to do the...